Hello, I'm Paul O'Kelly, and this is my review of the Irish newspapers this Sunday, August the 11th, 2024. Now, I'm without my human autocue today, so forgive me if I spend quite some time looking down at the script. And that's not the only thing we're going to change. In fact, today, we change everything, just for today. I'll race through the rest of the papers in a moment, but for now, bear with me and listen to several excerpts from Brendan O'Connor's incredible piece on the front of today's Sunday Independent. A guy offers two Olympic champions a lift, and you simply pack your 2- and 3-time Olympic winning gear into the back of his car, and you take a spin. And a moment of authentic cool is born. You just go along with the flow, and you give the Irish people one of the best moments to come out of an Olympics that was full of great moments for us. We're told that if we can see it, we can be it. But that is not the case, O'Connor argues, for those dead-end kids drawn to rioting and racism here and in the UK. These young men, he writes, are being told by society that they are no good and that nobody wants them. So they gravitate to the exhilarating community of the riot. It's not going to do any good to tell these boys, look, you can be Simon Harris, you can be CEO. But these last 2 weeks, we saw other stories for these boys. And maybe we learned a lesson about celebrating the effortless cool of discipline and commitment. Stories for boys who don't want to be masters of the universe. Now, I had planned to do a standalone spot next week where I would make the case for the future of newspapers. Now, I don't have to. Brendan O'Connor has just made that case for me. Where, but in a newspaper, would you get writing like that? Yes, the same words could fit nicely onto a Kindle or a smartphone, but imagine trying to absorb the rhythm and subtlety of O'Connor's 800 words while surrounded by flashing banner ads and pop-ups about Viagra. No, Brendan O'Connor belongs in a serious medium, like a newspaper. Now, the rest of the news. The Sunday Times highlights the teacher shortage with 400 unfilled vacancies in Dublin and over 100 in Cork. The Mirror complains that of nearly 3,000 refused asylum, apparently less than 1% have actually left the country. The same paper devotes page 10 to the horrendous online abuse suffered by Social Democratic councillor Elisa O'Donovan. Page 7 of the Sunday World features a typically thorough investigation of crime boss Daniel Kinahan. Patrick O'Connell reports that Kinahan has yet to pay up any part of a nearly $10 million judgment awarded to rival boxing promoter Moses Heredia. And the Mail leads with threats from the far right to disrupt the Ireland-England soccer match at the Aviva on September the 7th. On page 5, it features a photo of the homecoming of the late Edna O'Brien, floating off to her final resting place in Holy Island. I was going to close as usual by urging you to run out and buy a newspaper, but instead it's back to those early thoughts. If you don't get a paper every day, or even any day, I really must, in fairness, lay some of the blame not on you, but on the other side of the printed page, on the shoulders of journalists and editors. Yes, they've given us Brendan O'Connor and several other real writers, Brenda Power in the Irish Daily Mail, Billy Scanlon's wit in the Star, the relentless crime team in the Sunday World that we've just heard from, Paul Howard's immortal Ross O'Carroll Kelly, and in the same paper, the incomparable political writer Miriam Lord. You really should never miss her. But ingrate that I am, I say to every Irish editor, that's fine, but it's not enough. Every page should sparkle with that level of wit. Every sports layout should be a work of art, like that wonderful 2-pager the Sunday World gave us about Soupy Campbell, the one I raved about here on All Ireland Day. Every trip to the newsagent should offer a little tingle of anticipation, or why not, even excitement. Pablo Picasso and Norman Rockwell used to illustrate the papers. Oscar Wilde, James Thurber, Walter Winchell, Ian Fleming, and Miles Nagopoline used to write for them. Where are those writers now? I don't know. It's your job, editors, not mine, to find their successors, to nurture them, and to print them. So, editors of Ireland and the world, you want to survive? Keep giving us a reason. Keep giving me many reasons to say, look, you really, really cannot afford to miss what you'll find today and every day in your good-looking, brilliantly edited daily newspaper.